He kōna e purangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
They think this happens everywhere in New Zealand, and I don't think they realise how lucky they are that they grow up from kindergarten through their primary school, their intermediate and their high school, just having conservation work as part of their everyday schooling.
Rachel and Heidi are local celebrities. Wherever they go in Taupō, the kids recognise them and flock to them.
At the warehouse in the supermarket.
Kia ora, nau mai haramai ki te ao hurahanga. Hello and welcome to Our Changing World. Ko Concannon tēnei. I'm beside the Taupō golf course, catching up with local celeb Rachel Thompson, known to pretty much every child in the area. She's the lead education coordinator for Kids Greening Taupō.
At the moment we have 46 schools and kindergartens that have restoration plantings with us, either on site or on neighbouring council land. It's quite a few to work with and to try and maintain those sites, and every year we try and plant with them.
Their aim is to enable the young people of Taupō to learn about and get involved in real-life restoration projects as a way of engaging the whole community. There's an excited hum amongst the team right now, and Rachel in particular is fizzing. We're standing beside what will be the site for their biggest planting day of the year, the 5th annual Greening Taupō Festival, which is just over a week away.
We've got 1,700 students registered to come along from 30 different schools and kindergartens, so it's going to be a big day.
It's all part of a master plan to educate and engage this community in local conservation. A plan orchestrated by conservation group Project Tongariro. Beside Rachel and I, quietly commentating on Rachel's local fame, is Kitty Tawano, CEO of Project Tongariro. In last week's episode, we joined Kitty and volunteers Nick and Shirley to learn about some of the group's rural conservation efforts near Tūrangi.
You wouldn't be able to see that 20 years ago. It was just dense willow forest, and now you've got these open areas of water, raupo and sedges.
Today is about the urban restoration projects they support in Taupō. But Project Tongariro itself has an interesting backstory. It was initially established in response to a tragedy. On December the 9th, 1982, while testing a new lighting system for nighttime search and rescue, a helicopter crashed on Mount Ruapehu. Everyone on board died, the pilot and the 4 passengers, all of whom were Tongariro National Park staff. The tragedy hit this close-knit mountain community hard, and they wanted to do something to remember those they had lost. Here's Kitty.
The families decided that they'd like a living memorial, and it was based on the natural history societies out of America. So our official name is Tongariro Natural History Society, and we've just zhuzhed up the name of it to Project Tongariro.
That was 1984, and at the start, the society was focused very much within the national park. One of the initial things it helped with was the summer programme, a series of activities that take place each January, aimed at getting people out and about and learning about the park. It's still running today.
Friends and family came in to help step up with running those events, and that's sort of how the group sort of started.
And more generally, they kind of just got stuck in.
It attracted lots of trampers and lots of skiers, track maintenance, hut maintenance, welding pine control, whatever Doc needed a hand with. The first big restoration project they undertook was the Hapawhenua Viaduct, which now forms part of the Old Coach Road cycle trail from National Park around to Ohakuni.
This made them realise that if they wanted to do such projects, they needed a paid coordinator to find funding, coordinate volunteers, and to generally help make projects happen. When it was first established, the society ran by an annual membership model.
Nowadays, we don't focus so much on membership. We still have a strong membership of over 400 members, but it's a life membership. You just pay once and that's it. But it's more about offering these opportunities for people to be involved. You know, some people might be just interested in trapping, some people are interested in planting, and marshalling as well. We fundraise through volunteer marshals at lots of events around the region.
They also commissioned, published and sold books about Tongariro National Park and established a memorial award that continues today, a fund that researchers can apply to if they're studying something within the national park. In recent years, the Society has expanded its work to regions outside of the park, and from restoration and research activities to also include environmental education.
Our constitution and our vision and goals do talk about Tongariro National Park, and our hearts and minds are there, but we also talk about its environs. So we took that to mean that we could also expand outwards a little bit. Doing restoration work next to small communities is quite difficult, so we made the conscious decision to move closer to a larger community. So that was Tūrangi and Taupō. And from that, we've started urban restoration project Greening Taupō, the education arm of that, Kids Greening Taupō and Predator-Free Taupō.
Plus, south of the park, around Ohakune, Raitihi and Waiauru, environmental education is looked after by their Waimarino Restoration Project. But it's the Taupō-based projects we're focused on today.
Hi, I'm Heidi. Sorry, got the gloves on.
I'm Claire. Nice to meet you.
Claire. Kitty, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
I work for Kids Greening Taupō. I'm one of the education coordinators.
And where are we? We're on the side of a golf course?
We are on the side of the golf course. This site was our last year's 2024 Greening Taupō Day planting site that was organized by our team. Robin Ellis from Greening Taupō is the one who usually organizes our planting sites, and then Kids Greening usually comes in with all the students to come and help.
Right, so you're the person who's getting all the kids on board and let's go and plant some trees.
Yes, absolutely. We do. We go into the schools and we do some environmental education about native biodiversity, about why it's so important to bring back fauna and flora that is native and endemic to this area. And then we actually get them out coming and doing hands-on restoration work out here.
Great. And you've got a crew.
And I have a crew. So these are some of our student leaders that have been working with us for a few years. We've got Zara Pritchard.
Hi.
We've got Jack Farr, Taylor Dunn, and Emily Pepper.
Zara, Jack, Taylor and Emily are all Year 7 or 8 students from Taupō Intermediate School. They were involved in the Greening Day Festival last year, helping to plant these young trees that are scattered around us.
It was pretty awesome. We planted around about 3,000 trees.
Yeah. 3,000 trees. How long did that take?
Approximately about all day.
Yeah, because we had a whole Greening Taupō Day, but we had so many people turn up, and it's awesome because all the schools and kindergartens turn up, and a lot of schools take classrooms out, and it's really awesome to see everyone learning and enjoying just being out. Everyone dresses up in green too. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's sort of when we invite everyone from the town just to come out, plant a plant and have a fun time.
Right. Yeah. And so it's not just planting, there's other things that are happening.
No, there's lots of activities and lots of learning about New Zealand, native New Zealand and our history of New Zealand.
And so what are you guys up to today?
We're like taking stakes out of the plants that don't need them anymore and doing some weeding around.
What's the main weeds that you're dealing with?
Mainly invasive bushes like broom bush, which can spread quite fast.
Lots of people actually think broom is really pretty because in summer it grows these really pretty yellow flowers, but it's actually really bad because it just spreads so quickly. It's like blackberry.
Like wildfire.
And raspberry.
But like same with blackberries and raspberries, like wildfire. You can have it contained, but then you let it off, it's gone.
And why are you guys involved? What do you like about it?
I just like getting out and planting things. It's a shared passion of our country with other people that share the same passion. I also quite like the trapping you do, and you learn a lot about the species you trap and like what lives in the area. You get to learn quite a bit.
Right, you've been doing some trapping as well.
Yeah, we're setting up a line out on Spa Park.
Yeah, we've also got a trapping meeting, sort of like event tonight. Yeah. Are you guys all going?
Yeah, I'm going.
I'm going.
And what about you? What do you like about this work?
By planting trees and learning about all the native trees and to get rid of all the non-native animals.
And for you?
I like getting out of school for some things.
That's fair. Yeah.
Hey look, if you gave me a choice between meetings versus planting trees, I know what I'd pick. As Heidi mentioned, Robin Ellis, coordinator of Greening Taupō, is the one who organises the planting sites. She shows me where they have lined up for the upcoming 2025 festival. 2 years ago, this area was covered in wilding pines, so there's been a lot of work that's gone into the space already.
Just to our right here is our blank canvas of where our Arbor Day planting is going to be. We're going to be putting in about 3,000 plants. It's going to be part of our big vision of creating ecological corridors. So we've got beautiful tauhara up there. We have the Waikato River corridor, which is behind us, and then we just have lots of little gullies and connections, so planting them all out in native, so we have native corridors bringing the birds back and forth, which is really cool.
This is the big plan, to create green pathways that connect Tauhara Maunga, which we can see from this site, rising above the town to the south, to these other green spaces, including out to the Wairake Dolphin Sanctuary north of the town, which now has a fenced, pest-free area.
We plan for 10 community plantings throughout the year. We started in April, and our last planting is usually in about September. So we have them kind of like a planting every 3 weeks.
They've got a number of sites around Taupō where they're supporting both planting and predator removal, including gullies within the town, Wairake Drive, which connects the fenced sanctuary to the town, and Whakaipo Bay on the shores of the lake. The planting sites are decided through relationships with different organisations in the region, like Taupō District Council, Tūwhare Toa Māori Trust Board and DOC. And the plantings are supported by a whole bunch of local businesses and some big energy companies. Greening Taupō was started in 2012, and Robin's been in the job since 2015. She's loved seeing the growth, not just of the trees, but also of the volunteer numbers.
When I started, we'd probably have 30 or 40 people come along to a planting day, and for our last 3 plantings that we've had this year, we had 240 for the first, 210. We had a small planting the other week with only 110, but it was good. Lots of sausages.
And here today is a team that's key to the success of Greening Taupō. A group that shows up every Tuesday at different planting sites to attend to the less sexy side of revegetation projects.
I'm Celia, and I've been doing Wicked Weeders for about 10 years, and we're a group of elderly people who work really hard.
I love that. What's your full name, Celia?
Celia Bockett.
Celia Bockett with Wicked Weeders.
Well, Wicked Weeders is a name for this group, which is part of Greening Taupō. And we prepare sites for community planting, but what we do more than anything else is go back to these sites, because their plants won't live unless you weed them and get all the rubbish out, and the grasses will grow higher than the plants, and so that's why we stake them. Not always just to keep them up, but so that we can find them.
Right, so when you say you work really hard, you do work really hard.
You're doing hard physical work.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get some help with weed killing and spraying, and Robin organises that, but mostly it's just hard work.
And why do you do it?
I believe in conservation. I'm an outdoor sort of a person. I think it's really great that the more we plant, the more we'll have bird corridors. So those are probably the main things.
Yeah.
And then I go home and garden as well.
More weeds.
More weeds, yes. More natives. I love the natives and I love the bush.
They come for the morning tea.
That's right. That's what my husband said, who's injured and can't come. He said, yes, we come for morning tea. Robin makes a nice morning tea for us.
Kai is key. And rumour has it that there are berry and white chocolate muffins on offer this afternoon. Celia and a group of about 6 other wicked weeders are currently trying to deal with some blackwood, a tricky weed with long, thick, interconnected roots that means it's impossible to pull it out. Zara, Jack, Taylor and Emily have come over to get involved, so Celia explains the plan.
This is how big the roots are. Those are enormous, and they're probably spread for metres and metres and metres until they get back to the original plant. We can't get them out. We're not strong enough. So we're putting poison paste on them to try and hopefully that might kill them. Yeah, and so when you get to a root that you can't get to the end of, get the clippers and clip it and then you can put some paste on it.
Yep.
And that's poison, and we hope that'll work all the way back and poison the plant slowly.
So once you've found the roots, you'd put this herbicide on it,
That's
and
right.
hopefully that will kill it.
Yes, but it's it's like the broom we do on some of the other sites, and you have to do it again and again and again until you get it off.
Yeah, I found an opening in it.
They jump right in, hacking and pasting.
That needs to die.
Young school kids working alongside retirees.
Would you like to paste that one for me? Of course.
And that's part of why it all works, says Rachel Thompson.
And that sort of intergenerational learning is so valuable as well. We've had some planting days where we've buddied up one of the wicked weeders with a preschooler and had the preschoolers showing the wicked weeders how to plant and getting them out there together. It's very cute, yeah.
Greening Taupō came first, but setting up Kids Greening Taupō 3 years later in 2015 seemed like the natural next progression.
They had planting days, they invited the community along, and they had this feeling that they were sort of preaching to the converted. They were struggling to get the numbers. And there was an idea that if we want to get the community on board, we need to do that through the children. So with that idea in mind, Kids Greening Taupō was started, and it has worked beautifully. So now that all the kids in town know us, and we've got over 100 children signed up to our extracurricular student leadership team, they all come along to the planting days with their families, and they lead the planting days, they show everyone how to plant, they've brought the community on board with them. And I guess it's with that same idea in mind that we're now doing some of that work in the biosecurity space.
This is a recent project for Rachel about a particularly worrying invasive species.
An invasive clam which reproduces rapidly has been discovered in the Waikato River. It's the first time the clam, called the gold clam, has been found in New Zealand.
This is from May 2023, when the clam was found at Bob's Landing within Lake Karapiro on the Waikato River. And reproduces rapidly almost seems like an understatement here. Gold clams are hermaphrodites, meaning they can have both male and female reproductive organs, and therefore can self-fertilise. A single clam can produce thousands of juveniles. This means they can quickly take over an area, outcompeting with native species for food and habitat resources and disrupting ecosystems. Plus, they can clog up water intake pipes and machinery, causing issues for power plants and water treatment facilities. Following a NIWA-led survey in August 2024, it was reported that they'd been found along a 220-kilometre stretch of the Waikato River, from Lake Maraetai near Mangakino right down to the ocean.
The invasive clams have been found in the Waikato River as far as Mangakino, which is very close to our beautiful Lake Taupō, but at the moment they haven't been found in Lake Taupō. And I had a realisation earlier on this year when my own children went for a school camp, a school in Taupō, and they took 60 children to Lake Karapiro, where they were in the lake for 3 days and then came back the day before the triathlon here in the lake. And it just brought it home to me that actually we need to be educating our local community about what to do to make sure we protect our lake, because it would just take one clam from the river getting into our lake and we could possibly lose the beautiful lake that we're used to at the moment. So because of that, we've actually been talking to MPI, Biosecurity New Zealand, Waikato Regional Council and Tūwharetoa Māori Trust Board, and with their support put together a range of resources for children and their teachers, and we have set ourselves a goal of trying to speak to every single student in the Taupō-Turangi area by the end of the year with that the same kaupapa that Kids Greening Taupō started with, that if we can get the messaging out to the children, they'll take that messaging home to their whānau and we can get the whole community on board.
Rachel is a trained primary school teacher, and Heidi is too, as well as ECE trained. And for the biodiversity and planting side of things, they try to work in a flexible manner with the schools, fitting in what suits best for them.
Our whole program is flexible. We don't have a set program. So whatever the schools are wanting from us, if they say that they're going to be going out on a bushwalk or a camp somewhere in the area and can we come and join them, we'll go out and join them. We go into the schools and help them plant sites on their school grounds. Sometimes we'll put on events and they come to us. We try as much as possible to remove that transport barrier, because that can be a big cost for schools. So as much as possible we go to them. And if we have to get them to a site that's far from their school, we try to get sponsorship for buses. So for this event that's coming up next week, we've got some very generous businesses sponsoring buses for the day. And then for our event that we have up on the Maunga for Matariki, we also get sponsorship for buses.
It's part of their role, says Rachel, removing any obstacles. So they work with local sponsors to get the plants and the tools funded, and then the schools apply to them. Well, the kids do. As part of their learning, they have to submit a funding application video. She's obviously passionate about the work, and she says she gains a lot from it herself.
I'm learning as well. I came into this job really naive in the world of conservation. I came from a teaching background, and I've always been passionate about the environment, but I guess coming into this role has made me realise how much we as New Zealanders in general are unaware of things like our biodiversity crisis, like the impact that the introduced predators are having around things like biosecurity. I think so many New Zealanders are just oblivious to that, and it's made me so passionate about teaching our next generation to be more aware and more conscious of those things.
After the weeding session, the team gathers around for tea and cake, and conversation turns to final planning for the planting day and the long-range forecast, which is not looking good.
Just terrible.
Is it true to rain on
Wednesday, Thursday, we don't know quite when it's all going to come.
But that's next week. It's 10 days away. It's fine. Well, it can't be. Why did you even say that in earshot of her? This Wednesday, Thursday, and yeah.
The 2025 Greening Taupō Festival took place on Arbor Day on the 5th of June. Unfortunately, the weather did not play ball in the lead up to the day, and a civil defence emergency was declared that morning due to a threat of a local river bursting its banks. This meant that some volunteers couldn't attend, but they did go ahead, and despite some passing showers, Rachel said they had a fantastic day. The photos are filled with people dressed in green with big smiles and lots of rainbows in the background. About 2,000 people came along, she reckons, and they got the 3,000 trees planted. Kids Greening Taupō turns 10 in September, but it's Project Tongariro that's just passed the bigger milestone. Last November, they celebrated 40 years since the society was set up as a living memorial for Keith Blumhardt, Bill Cooper, Doug McKenzie, Derek White and Marie Williams, those that died in the helicopter crash. Today, Project Tongariro has 9 staff, 4 of which are full-time. One educator who works on the Waimarino Restoration Project is based in Raetihi. Most staff are in Taupō, and Kitty herself is based in Turangi, where she, like others in Project Tongariro, works side by side with local DOC staff.
One of the ways that DOC support us, which is amazing support, is office space. So myself and my staff work out of the Taupō and Turangi DOC offices, and that's, we don't have that overhead. It's amazing support, but also access to DOC staff, being in the right place at the right time. That's the whole world of collaboration, really, isn't it? Yeah.
And you're also working with a lot of local businesses and community groups and hapu as well.
Yeah, that hapu relationships is really important to us. Increasingly, the more work we do is on hapu and iwi land, so yeah, we need to be upfront, and we don't have any ulterior motives. We just want to improve the environment and create spaces for kaitiakitanga, practicing kaitiakitanga.
Kitty is a born and bred local, a lover of the lake and the mountain, a passionate skier. She's worked with Project Tongariro for 13 years, first as a part-time coordinator and now as CEO. And at the end of a day that's been spent driving around the region, visiting different projects, I ask her what's the thing she enjoys most about her job.
Working with amazing, passionate people who are just so passionate about what they do and where they live. Just thinking today, I just feel so lucky working with these people and absorbing, their knowledge. Yeah.
Thanks to Kitty Duano, CEO of Project Tongariro, to Rachel Thompson and Heidi Pritchard of Kids Greening Taupō, Robin Ellis of Greening Taupō and Predator Free Taupō, as well as Celia of Wicked Weeders and Zara, Jack, Taylor and Emily from Taupō Intermediate School. This episode was produced by me, Claire Concannon. Production help was from Ellen Rikers, and sound engineering was by William Saunders. Visit rnz.co.nz/OCW if you want to learn more and to see some photos from the festival planting day. We're doing a bit of thinking about our changing world at the moment and what we're going to be doing over the next year or two. So if you have any feedback for us, episodes you like, things you don't like, please email us at ourchangingworld@rnz.co.nz. Tēnā koe I whakarongo mai. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Claire Concannon. Have a great week. Kia pai, te wiki.